Howdy, folks. I'm Zesty Zink, zealously zapping zany Zambonis.
I'm Amber.
And here are more zany Zambonis for us to zap. Amber, what I want to understand is why is Zinc zesty?
I mean, I can answer the rest of it better because zinc is a metal, so, it's probably a bit conductive, hence the zapping. And Zambonis have metal in them, so that's why they get zapped. As for why zinc is zesty, it just feels like that was a fitting word for it, so.
Well, there you have it, folks. Sprinkle zinc on your food.
No, don't do that.
You can eat zinc, certain levels of it. Let's get started. Alright, folks, our first letter on the Sunday morning special is titled, Will I Be a Jerk If I Don't Give Back Some Money? So, I'm a 45-year-old female, and my ex is a 49-year-old male, and we have 3 kids together. 2 17-year-old females and a 15-year-old female. We have been divorced for 15 years. He moved out of state. He doesn't see, call, talk to the kids at all. He cheated on me with my now ex-BFF and stated that if I leave, then he'll leave all of us. He kept his word. Now he owes us $100,000 in back child support. His mom died 3 months ago, and he is the beneficiary of the life insurance and the executor of the state. Well, last month, I got a lump sum back child support totaling $45,000. He called my mother demanding that I return it so that he can finish paying off her funeral and cemetery costs. I don't want to return it because he hasn't done a thing for our kids, and our oldest 2 kids are starting college this week and have moved into their dorms, and this can help them out a lot. I contacted him and I told him that if he needs that much money to sell his mom's house, and that money is going towards the kids' college and the youngest school/medical bills. He called me the biggest evil jerk that there is. So will I be the jerk? Alright, folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
Not the jerk. The needs of the living are more important than the needs of the dead. And like you said, it sounds like he inherited a house. If he needs $45,000 for funeral costs because he really wants to go all out, he can sell the house. He can take out a loan. There's all kinds of things he can do that don't involve taking the money that he owes the children.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the state has made the decision for him that he needs to give this money to you. And I think that he should have known from the very beginning that they'll garnish your wages, they'll garnish inheritance, they'll do all that stuff if you don't pay your child support. They'll get it eventually. I think they'll even garnish your taxes, so I don't know how he's, like your tax refund, so I don't know how he's gotten away with not paying taxes, but maybe he just ends up doing it in a way where he doesn't have any taxes back, so probably that's exactly what it boils down to.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that this is your fault, OP. It's poor planning on his part. And that's really hard to feel bad for somebody who has denied you $100,000 in childcare costs.
Right. He's calling you horribly evil for wanting to, let me check my notes, help your kids afford college and pay off some of their medical bills.
Yeah.
Yeah, what horrible priorities.
Yeah, I think that your priorities are straight, OP. Mm-hmm. I think that your ex's priorities are not.
Yeah, I have a sneaky suspicion that he does not need $45,000 for a funeral.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they cost, and I don't know what they're priced at, and maybe he does need that money. But again, like OP said, if he wants that money and he needs it, then he can sell the house, in which case they'll probably garnish the money that he gets from that too. Brian's over here grinning like a Cheshire cat, being like, they'll get you eventually. They'll get you eventually. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Miss Kelly08 says, not the jerk, that money isn't just entitled to you. Your children are entitled to it as well. For the life of me, I will never understand how people can have kids, especially more than one, and walk away and not care. One of the reasons that I fell in love with my husband was because he went above and beyond. His lawyer said, don't pay until court ordered, or you will have to pay again. He said, I will pay twice. My girl has to eat, court or not. Addie said to pay no more than $75 weekly until my husband not only paid 2 or 3 times that, he paid bills, bought clothes, etc. because he wanted her to be well taken care of. He wasn't a pushover, and he's just a loving dad and takes it seriously. I wish every child was lucky enough to have that. They all deserve it. You probably should talk to a lawyer about putting a lien on the house to recoup the rest of your child support. You shouldn't have to do it alone. And just to be clear, if he still is with your ex-BFF, be grateful that she's out of your life because clearly she doesn't care if your kids have what they need or don't need. But the gall to call your mommy because he had to pay his own kids. That's seriously some messed up thinking. Yeah, I mean, the whole calling your mother part of that was just absurd. And OP replies, exactly. When we decided to have kids and try, he was the most loving, caring man. I've never seen this coming. Then, when I got pregnant with my youngest, he did this. They probably were cheating way before she told me or admitted to it. She told me because she said that she felt guilty. I don't care if they stay together. To be honest, they deserve each other. He said he lost my number. Sir, I had the same cell when we were just dating. Yes, things were hard when raising 3 kids on my own with no one helping me out but my mom and dad babysitting so that I could work. The money that I got on child support is going to my kids. I finished setting up my twins in their dorm rooms that I was putting off till next week when I got paid, and finished school shopping for my youngest and paid her medical bills that insurance didn't cover. I am saving the rest for their needs as they come. It sounds like OP has had a really hard time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that they were able to get this payout for this because it just doesn't sound like it's been an easy existence for them. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I the Jerk for Firing My Brother After He Proposed at My Wedding? So, a bit of background. I own a plumbing company and hired my brother 3 years ago. He was jobless after the pandemic, and I offered for him to come and work for me. He was 22 at the time, and is now looking to become a master plumber and start his own business. At my wedding, during which he was the best man, he decided that during his speech that he would give all of us a big surprise and decided to propose to his longtime girlfriend. Me and my wife were appalled. We both feel like he stole the shine from our day. Everyone else in our families were so excited and kept taking pictures with her and looking at the ring, etc. I decided to fire him the very next day. He still doesn't understand why. He claims that I'm being selfish and irrational, and our parents agree. They're saying that business should be separate from our personal lives. But I just can't overlook what he did and how he ruined our day. Am I the jerk, and am I overthinking this? Edit. I should have mentioned this, but he will be getting a severance. He's still my brother, and I wouldn't let him lose his home over this. But as a small business owner, I can't imagine seeing him every day at work. Now, at least. And 2, I reached out to him, and we plan on speaking later today in person. Alright, folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
I mean, you want to make sure, like, is this an at-will employment state? Like, my biggest concern with this whole thing is it actually legal to fire him for this?
Probably. I mean,
Okay.
employers are allowed in the U.S. pretty much exclusively to fire people whenever they want, and likewise, if you're an employee, you pretty much always have the option of walking away. So unless there's like an extenuating contract at hand, then usually it's at will. And so I wouldn't think that he would have made a special contract with his brother, right? And so I think that this was probably an at-will. As for whether that's ethical or not, I mean, it's a difficult question.
It is. I mean, I agree. It's difficult. Like, I think OP is mostly not the jerk. Like, I understand being that upset with having, you pour all this time, energy, and money into an event, and then this person commandeers it. And like OP was saying, since it is a small business, that means seeing him literally every day.
Mm-hmm.
So that does put him in a very bad situation. And yeah, I mean, I still have slightly mixed feelings about it. Like, maybe, well, but the problem is, like, you can't sue him for ruining your event. Like, that's not a thing you can do. So
Yeah.
it's like, what else do you do?
Well, I think that OP's been put in a really bad position here because he took his brother under his wing. He basically helped him find a job and gave him the proper training that he needed. And this is how his brother repays him, by trying to steal the spotlight on his wedding. And the rest of the family somehow is jumping on his side as well.
That's what I don't get, is like, if I were to see someone propose at someone else's wedding, I'm just gonna be like cringing, slowly backing away. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be like, oh yay, this is so great. Like, everyone knows you don't do this. Anyone who condones that or supports that, very sus. That's very sus.
Unless it's like explicitly known. Somebody who starts to propose deserves to have wine poured on them before it happens so that they stop in the middle of it and collect their senses, because clearly this was a nonsensical thing to have done. I feel bad for OP. I don't think that they've done anything wrong up to this point. And as for the firing, I think that this is a tricky, morally gray area that I'm not sure that I have a good answer for. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And OP adds some additional information. I would like to note that I wouldn't speak poorly if an employer asked me about him. I would be honest about his work, but what he did shows me a lack of maturity and has caused me a lack of trust. No good qualities for an employee. I get that he was off the clock, but you can't insult your boss off the clock and expect to have no consequences. We are a small business, 5 employees, 4 now, and I oversee everyone. He will be able to find work elsewhere in the area.
Well, that's an important point, is like, this isn't the first time someone has gotten fired for their off work activities. And sometimes it's important, like when people start posting racist propaganda, it affects the company in some one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, I mean, I think that's a good point. It's like, just because there's a freedom of speech doesn't necessarily mean there's a freedom from consequences, right?
Mm-hmm.
And freedom of speech is often a right that's confused by people. It means that the government can't come in and throw you in jail,
Mm-hmm.
right? It doesn't mean that there will be no civil or, social, basically, consequences for your deeds. So yeah, while he was allowed to exercise his freedom of speech and to give the speech and then propose to his girlfriend, it was also doesn't mean that he is exempt from any of consequences from that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Caloran says, "You're the jerk. I get that it's your wedding, but it doesn't have to be all about you. Lots of people find it romantic or memorable for their sibling to propose at their wedding. He probably should have asked you for permission, but you're acting like a spoiled child for not getting enough attention. You shouldn't have given him a job if you're going to hold it against him if he does something that you don't like outside of work. Totally unprofessional. Real big brother who's garbage moves, if you ask me." And OP replies, "When I paid over $60,000 for my wedding, I would like it to be about my wife and I. I didn't plan this, so my brother could use it as an engagement party." And Relevant Interest 708 says, "Seems like there are 2 issues here. 1, you took him in when he was jobless, and now he's starting to be a business rival. And 2, he proposed at your wedding. In both cases, he's putting his needs before yours. Maybe it's a subconscious fear, like you're trying to sabotage his plans to complete with you, much like he sabotaged your wedding. Not the jerk, but barely." And OP replies, "I wouldn't view it as a business rival. Plumbing is in high demand, and I doubt I would lose any more jobs than I would simply by losing an employee." So that's actually a really interesting point. And I think that OP isn't looking at this as like, he's taking away from the business. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got a beverage of choice right here. Amber's got a joke.
What would you get if you crossed a vampire with a wool scarf?
A vampire with a wool scarf. You know what you get when you cross a vampire with a wool scarf, Amber? You get another jovial Bob Stein joke about a vampire. They're so common that one might think that they all bite.
You get a pain in the neck.
You get a pain in the neck? I would suppose you would. And I've got Earl Grey. Alright, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Spectacular Special Sunday. I hope it's as special for you as it is for me. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance, and please have it in the form of a haiku.
One simple lesson. Don't bite the hand that feeds you. It never ends well.
Yeah, I like it. I think that came out really well. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.